Hi, hello, how are you? If you're on the replay, say hey. I'm going to talk about the Bubbles and Brushes collection. I wish I knew what time it was because I do have somewhere to be. I'm supposed to be, oh, I got some time. I'm supposed to be driving right now to take my daughters to school. Luckily, my friend who I give her daughter a ride was able to do it because I've got jury duty. Excellent. At least it's not tomorrow because tomorrow's the last day of school and my daughter's flyaway ceremony from flying away from kindergarten, and I will risk a bench warrant for that. So we're going to talk about the Bubbles and Brushes collection, and I'm going to dive in. I'm going to clean up my brush really quick. In spirit of Bubbles and Brushes, I'm using the brush cleanser because I want to be able to use it. I also want to be able to show the brush better. So I'm going to clean while I wait for people to pop on. One means everyone, so I'm just waiting for that. And it is an interesting time slot. So yeah, I'm not sticking to the same times because again, jury duty. And I'm going to clean this and then I'm going to clean my smudge brush. One is here, so I'm going to get going. Hi, hello, how are you? I have half my face done and I did it with the buff brush. I did my eye makeup with the smudge brush, and I'm just gonna tidy that one up too and show how I did this eye look. It's great for summer, and I love this brush. This is one of my favorite brushes. I like it for mature lids because if you're using a fluffy brush and you're blending things around, you're just doing this with your skin. So I like using the smudge brush because it picks up a good amount of product and you can tap it around and blend it out better than a big old fluffy brush. All right. Sorry. Okay, so we're gonna dive in. So what is the Bubble and Brushes collection? Let me tell you. Okay, you get this. Look at how pretty this is. Like, I'm a sucker for packaging. I'm a sucker. And this is so great. So I wanna talk about how to use this really quick. So with the Bubbles and Brushes collection, I think this is great for when you want to deep clean. This is not something you need to do every week, especially if you have the brush cleanser, because this cleans, sanitizes, conditions, and dries your brushes. They're ready to go right away. With this, they will have to sit out until they are dry. You want to use lukewarm water. You don't want hot water because there is glue holding these little pieces together. So it will soften it and your brush could come apart. And it also grows bacteria down here if you're using hot water. So how to use this. This thing is so fun. Okay, you do not want to take a dirty brush and dip it into your soap because it's going to grow bacteria. There's tea tree in here, but it only goes so far. I mean, it's tea tree. So it doesn't have a scent. It just smells like soap, maybe a hint of tea tree, but it's not an overwhelming smell like this stuff. That stuff makes your brushes smell like cotton candy, so it's good. But what you want to do is you want to get your soap wet. You want to take your little pad and you want to rub it into your soap. Then you can take your brush and you can scrub it. Rinse the pad off, rub it back into the soap, clean your brush again. That's how you're wanting to use this so that bacteria doesn't grow and fester and get all gross. So wet it, scrub it, rinse it. Easy, easy peasy lemon squeezy. I look silly because I was on Facebook and did half my face, and now I'm here to make it this side look like this side. And I'll share the colors. I have a palette that's fully packed, and I'm not in my car. I don't like doing my makeup in my car. It is hard. It is. So let's get this all, let's get this put away. The packaging, it's so pretty, just sits on your counter. And then when you're done with the soap, this is just a pretty travel case. You could put jewelry in it. You could put a beauty blender. I mean, this is a pretty little find. All right, let's get started. All right, the buff brush. Let me introduce you. Hi, hello, how are you? The buff brush is a medium to full coverage brush. The denser the brush, the fuller the coverage. So blush and bronzer brush is a bit more fluffy, obviously. So this is a good medium coverage brush and medium coverage. You can see the difference in the density. This is the big end, and then it has this little end, and I love the shape of it. This is really great for putting it into your skin, especially if you're trying to camouflage things. This is a great brush. It is a medium to full coverage brush, so it does pick up more product than some of the other brushes, so keep that in mind. I think it would be equal to maybe the powder brush right here, equal to the powder brush, nice and dense, and it's more of a medium to full coverage. I don't use this end very often on this brush. I don't recommend it a lot, that this is a good brush. I like it because I've already done all of my color correcting because nobody needs to see that every time. But I do like this brush for my scarring. I really get good coverage with it, especially if I'm doing an event. It's not necessarily the colors, but it's just a little fuller coverage. So I do use this when I have events. And then we've got the smudge brush. This is the eyeshadow brush, one of my favorites. It's got this nice round, smaller end. If you have small eyes, this is not the brush for you. But if you have mature eyes, this is a good brush for you. So you can tap it in, pick it up, it's dense. And then it has this little bit of a bigger, wide end. That's really good. So we're gonna get into the makeup. I already put some mango on over this because I forgot I was doing half my face and caught myself. But I do sometimes, for a little extra coverage right here, tap a little mango on over my scarring. I typically use the big end for my main highlights and my contour. The small end I use for brightening, and then I did contour my lip with it. And I'm gonna show you how. So my colors, if I can talk, are Athens and White Peach are what I'm using right now. I'm in Oregon. It's not quite summer. Today is an overcast. It might hit the 60s, maybe the upper 60s if it's gonna be hot. Okay, so going into Athens, and I always say tappy tap tap. You want it to look like it's on the tips of the bristles. If your bristles are sticking together, you have too much makeup. And I even out this. So there's just discoloration that just is life. And then I'm just gonna even it out like that. We're just gonna even this out, and then I stipple when I start getting into my texture areas, which is around my mouth and up around my nose. And then I also have large pores. And so I bring this up, and I like the way that this brush pushes this in with your skin. If you're gonna add more, just a couple little light taps like you're scared of it. But that initial tap, get in there and pick some up. But I'm just tapping this in, and it just gets it into your skin in a really good way. Hi, Desiree. Is Athens a good summer color? It depends. Currently use Candlelit as my main highlight. I think it would, I don't know what you tan like, because I know for me, I can get as light as Candlelit in the winter, but my summer color, I use Walnut Contour. So Athens is not my summer color. Sandy is not. I bump up to Walnut because after Sandy, it's very warm. So it really depends. I would say once you hit your summer color, get a color match because everybody tans differently. And I think Athens could be a great transition to your summer color, depending on, again, how dark you get. But everybody does tan differently. So just pressing this in, especially over those pores, and then bringing it up and around into this area like so. And that's it. That's the only main highlight I use right here. I'm going to switch to the smaller end, and I'm going to go into White Peach. Not a lot. And I'm going to go right here in between, and then I'm going to fan this out. I don't think you need a main highlight on your forehead. I don't. Your brightening highlight should be lighter than your skin tone. I don't have a main highlight over here because my contour and my brightening work together to create a main highlight. And that's why I'm not going to put any on my nose quite yet. And then I'm going to take some and I'm going to hit my Cupid's bow. This is a pretty area, and then on my chin. Now, if you have heavy texture on your chin, you can either skip brightening because it can easily accentuate the texture. But if you have a high texture area, maybe skip brightening that area. And so if you have a high texture area, maybe up here, which happens, I would put your brightening down right here or just skip it. The way you apply this makeup is different for everybody. And so finding what works for you is key. Just gonna blend it into the rest of the forehead. All right, that's it. I'm gonna switch to the big end again, and I'm gonna go into Indigo Contour, and I'm gonna tap in, don't wipe, just the tips of those bristles, and I'm gonna swipe this over here, and then I'm gonna go above that natural shadow. I have a light over here. I need to get more lights. All right, going in, and I'm gonna go above that shadow, and I'm gonna hang it back. I'm not coming in farther than that outer corner. And then I'm gonna get right here on the side of the nose. I'm just trying to draw that line, square off the tip, like that. And then I'm gonna go in front of the earlobe here and down the jaw. And this just hides things, you know? Hides things. If you ever feel like your main highlight is maybe a little too dark because your neck is always a different tone, here's what I would recommend. I'm gonna show you what I do, but first I'm gonna blend this out. Otherwise I'm gonna go to the courthouse with what they're gonna say is, did you get shit on your face? And it's like, no, thank you. But I'm just gonna blend this out. I'm gonna use this just to pull down. But if you ever feel like your main highlight is much darker, my neck is always a lot lighter than my face. So I take the small end and I'm gonna go into my brightening highlight and I'm gonna go right here. Just right down there above that contour, and then you can tap this out and it will help bridge it. Really easy. This is great for if you have a high collar, a turtleneck, a hoodie, and you don't want that transfer, so you don't want to put anything on your neck like bronzer. This is a great way to bridge that together. You can bridge with bronzer or you can bridge with your brightening. Either way will work. All right, I'm going to blend out my contour here, and I'm just going to, I like the stipple method with this brush because it's dense. Swirling can easily pick it up. And so I'm just going to tap this out into my hairline. Then I'm going to grab this small end and I'm going to grab that brightening and I'm going to pull this up and over, and it just does that. I'm going to grab a little bit of bronzer with the big end. I'm going to hit right here and I'm going to add some warmth, just like I did over here. And then I'm going to put a little bit above this contour right here. So the difference between a contour, and a lot of people think indigo is warm, but when you put a bronzer next to it, you can see cool, warm. They're same, I would say they're almost same level. Indigo is definitely a bit darker, but Bella is definitely warmer. And so I'm going to take that big brush and I'm going to press up. I like to use the bottom of the brush and follow the angle of your face and press into that contour and into that bronzer together, underblend it. Okay, take that small end and you could easily fix this. Yes, I got you. Oh, hi, hello. Thought I'd check in. Good, thank you for checking in. All right, so we're going to, if you have any questions, let me know. But that's how I do the dang thing right there. And then I bring them together. A lot of people like to smear the 3 on because Kim Kardashian told you to, and that's Bible. Isn't that what she says? But you don't need that much product on your face. Save the product. Blend it together. All right, I'm going to tap my nose. I tap because I have a bump. I'm going to tap this out. I'm going to follow to my natural brow. I'm going to tap, and then I'm going to bring it over because I want to. Watch what, this is what I do. I take that small end on that pointy part. You could, whatever. Okay, we're going to grab brightening, and then we're going to go right here. It doesn't have to be straight because your finger will fix it. It is hard to draw a straight line down the middle of your nose, okay? Especially when you're on a phone. But look at that. That's a dang good nose contour. I'm proud of myself today. I'm going to take what's left of that brightening and go right here. But all it's doing is creating reflected light. It looks pretty. I love indigo. I really do. Okay. Tappy, tappy, tap. All right, next I'm going to do my blush. So over here, I used Wildflower, which is a limited edition, still available while supplies last. This is such a pretty color. It's a nice, it's like a summer version of Frenchie. That's what I'll call it. And I'm just gonna use my finger, and I have that discoloration, and this just helps hold it back. Look how pretty that is. It's nice and it's bright and it's happy. It's happy. And then I'm gonna use Pink Grapefruit. It's one of my favorite summer colors. This one and Dahlia are some of my favorite summer colors. And then I'm just gonna tap Pink Grapefruit up top. I'm gonna use the big end. I'm gonna grab a fluffy brush because my blushes need a fluffy brush. And then I'm just gonna tap this up. I'm gonna smile and bring that down into Wildflower. And I just really like it. And it can be nice and subtle. This side is more punchy. I'm gonna tell you why. Because if you decide you wanna go from a day look to a night look, it's not anything where you have to go wash your face and add a new color. You can just go and grab that Pink Grapefruit again, grab it and just jazz it up, build it up and make it more punchy. And then it's more of a date look. It's more of a, I'm at a bridal shower, let's add a little more and now I'm a bridesmaid. I am a bride at my bridal shower and now I'm a bride. I don't know, but that's the way I like to do it. I'm gonna grab a fluffy brush. If you have a kabuki brush laying around, that's fine. Blush and bronzer, fluffy brush. I like tapping over it because it just marries everything together really nice. That's because I like it that way. I'm gonna stay on this small end and we're gonna go into our brightening again. I keep getting this weird pulsing on my nose, and so if you see me doing this, it's because I'm trying to say, stop. Stop. Anyway, all right, so we're going in with White peach. Now, when you're doing your under eyes with a dense brush, tap like you're scared of it. Tap like it's gonna bite you, and tap like it's gonna cuss you out. And then go in and you're just going to use that pointy. I love the shape of this brush. This reminds me of, and it's probably gonna pop up in people's algorithms now because I'm gonna say the word, OGEE. It is a cream stick makeup. Now, I've tried other sticks. I've tried Merit, and I like it. I just put too much on because you're smearing a stick on your face. You could tap onto it. It's just a little more slick than Saints is what I found. It is a good product, but I was looking at this OG brush, which reminds me of this brush. Do you know how much that brush is? It's one-ended. It's this brush, essentially. $70. This one's $40. Except today in a collection, you can get it for, I don't know. That's insane. That is insane. I bought it and I'm going to compare it. So we'll see how that works out. But I'm just grabbing it like I'm scared of it and I'm pulling it up, tapping onto that orbital bone, the last place, especially if you're using a dense brush under your eye, the last place you want to apply any cream is on this hammock part of the skin. Okay, I'm going to do my makeup in the car after having, you know, it's nice. I mean, you could just mark, I mean, I'm not going to tell you to do it while you're driving, but I have done it when I was driving. It was an emergency. Sort of. Oh, I'm trying to punch this up a little bit because my brightening got a little out of hand. Okay, let's do our eyes. I'm gonna clean this off on my brush cleaning tile here. I'm gonna wipe some of this blush off of this big end. Okay, let's do our eyes. Ooh, should I do my lips just because they look weird? I'm gonna use the small end on that pointy part and I'm gonna go into indigo. Look at the difference. Okay, let's just like look how, this is the best time I can explain this, but when you add that shadowing, I'm gonna have to shut up. Who knew I could do it? But you see the way that that brightening just chisels out over it. This is a great time to show you what I mean. But adding that brightening, I'm gonna show you how I do it, creates this snatch of the lips over here, whereas over here it's not. And then this shadow over here just gives the illusion that my lips are a little bit fuller. Oh, oh, hello, hubby. All right, so I'm taking that contour and I'm gonna go under the lip here. Your husband could do this. He could have luscious lips for Father's Day. That's the other thing. Get your husband some makeup for Father's Day. If he doesn't like it, take it off his hands. It's the best gift. I'm gonna take some right here and I'm gonna go over the top. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, I'm just gonna push it over, blend it out, grabbing some brightening. We're gonna grab some brightening and we're gonna do that greater than, less than chomper, okay? And you want it to go outside of that contour because you're not wanting to mess it up. And so we're just gonna tap it out, tappy, tappy, tap, 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 tap. Who knows the reference? You should know the reference. Okay, and we're just gonna tap that out. Now, Renaissance is not available anymore. It's this color right here. Linked in my link tree is the dupe for Renaissance. Did I throw it somewhere else? Oh, oh, there it is. Okay. MAC Half Red. I heard Wet n Wild 666 is still available, but we're adults now, so we buy MAC and Saint. So, all right. So I'm going to take this and we're going to line the lips. We are not outer lining. If you're contouring your lips, you don't need to outer line. And you're just going to line at the edge and line at the edge. But that contouring makes it so you don't have to outer line. And then I always color in the corners. And so there we go. All right, boom. Okay, the color I used with it is also a limited edition, Homecoming. Keep a lid, pop this in, pop it out, and you don't gouge it out anymore. The days of gouging it out with your fingernails is done. Grab it. I like, okay, with these two shades, Homecoming and August, my preference is this. Mirror it on with the tin. It gets more on, okay? It just does. It does better than the finger. And then use your finger to smash it around, okay? Okay, I was afraid Renaissance would be too, I have to read these because once my live is over, the comments go away. I was afraid Renaissance would be too dark, but it works. Oh God, Renaissance and Maui together. Oh, I Love those together. It was my favorite. But Homecoming, I didn't think I would like it as much. I didn't think I'd like any of these. Not gonna lie. Especially Jolene, but Jolene is really good. All right. I really like Homecoming. It doesn't have shimmer in it, but it is really, I mean, that's a pretty lip color. That's a nice neutral, if you know, you know. Color. Okay, let's do our eyes really quick. I'm gonna go in on the short end, small end of the buff brush. We're gonna tap in like we're scared, and we're gonna go in on the lid. Bam, bam, bam. We're just evening out, taking out those delightful veins that make us look like it's Christmas on our eyelids, string of lights. And we're gonna just tap that on. I'm gonna grab setting powder with that brush, and we're gonna tappy, tappy, tap. Did you do a video with Jolene? I did a, guys, I'm on like a bazillion different platforms. Not a bazillion, I'm a dramatic queen. Okay, I think I did a first look, but I did do Jolene. Jolene is surprisingly great. It is surprisingly great. It's right here. It has these mermaid flecks in it. Do you see that? It's really pretty. So I'll grab some. Forget it, you can't tell. But I gotta even it out now. You can't tell. I'll do one. I'll do one because it is really surprisingly pretty. It is not, I don't think it's a standalone color because I have scarring and it pulls it through. But I did pair it with, I think I paired it with Melody. Melody's okay. It's very similar to Frenchie. I mean, Frenchie's right here and Melody's right here, but when you swatch them, there's Frenchie, and then here is Melody next to it. They're really similar. They don't look like it in the tin, but come on. They're really, really similar. So if you already have Frenchie and Jolene go really well together. Wildflower and Jolene go really well together, and I will do a video. I thought I did one. I'm not sure. Okay, so I've, sorry. I have prepped my lids. I'm gonna spray. I don't know why I sprayed my whole face, but we're gonna take this big end and we're gonna grab that setting powder. Start at your temple and work your way in. You don't want to apply powder, bam, right there. It's gonna add texture. So I always put it on the outside and then I bring it in, and then whatever's left I put in my trouble areas. If you think it's gone, it's not. I wanna brightening, snatch it up a little bit, give it a little definition. Okay. We're gonna do our eyes. I love this eyeshadow look. It is going to be Drift, duh. And I'm using Havana, which is a bit brighter than it looks in the video. Miha, learned how to say that on Wizards of Waverly Place. And I'm gonna be using As You Wish, which is peach with flecks of purpley pink. I'm gonna use the balm to apply it because the balm is the bomb. All right, we're gonna use the fat end. I'm a stand-up comedian today. Matt Rife's got nothing on me. Just kidding. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna go into Drift, and I'm gonna pop this up top. And I do this because I have hooded eyes. So this little bag of skin right here that likes to hang out with my lash line. If I do Drift last, it's gonna compromise my transition colors. You could see it over here. If I were to put Drift over top of this, it would push it down. All right, we're gonna use this short round end, and I'm gonna go into Havana. Havana's pretty. Look how pretty that is. If you think you can't wear orange, try Havana. And you're going to push this on that brow bone, okay? If you have mature lids and your skin's doing this, tap it. Just tap that baby out, just like that. And you want to keep, I keep this on the outside of the fat part of my brow. And we're going to tap this out. I am not an artist, okay? I don't know all of the proper words or the proper ways of saying things. I just know what I like. And then I come here and tell you what I like. And that's it. I'm not gonna go down my rabbit hole, but I went down a serious rabbit hole the other day. It was toxic. All right, gonna clean it off. If you don't have a cleaning towel, get one for Father's Day. And we're gonna grab Miha Pink. It's a foundation color. I don't get paid a lick off of it. It's really pretty, but 100% of the proceeds go to families of foster care. So if you want to be a good person, go buy it and you'll look pretty too. And we're gonna go down here, and I'm gonna clean off a little bit because I feel like I got too much. but then we're just gonna use this to either tap or wipe, but you're hanging this towards the bottom of that bone, the brow bone, okay? Not into that crease. It can go into the crease, but you wanna bring it above, especially if you have hooded eyes, which I feel like is everybody's problem. But we're gonna go on the outside of the lid here. Pretty, 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 pretty. Okay, I'm gonna use this fat end and I'm just gonna blendy poo. Okay. I bought some, it's on the way. Yay! See, he's gonna be so happy with that as a gift. I tell you, he's gonna love it. He's gonna say, you know what, let's share this makeup. Okay, we're going to go into balm with our finger. Just tap. You don't even barely wanna see it. And I'm gonna put that on the middle of my lid. This does not crease. I don't know why. I always say it's makeup, not magic, but it's some kind of witchcraft. I do not know. And then I'm going to scratch my As You Wish because I have to at this point because I rub into it so much. I'm gonna put some on my finger. Look at how pretty that is. And then I'm gonna tap this on my lid in the middle onto that balm. The balm, that's the balm. We're gonna tap that on I Need a Fill. I was going to, but you know, jury duty. I'm gonna take my pinky, I'm gonna rub into Drift, and I am going to awkwardly fold my arms funny, and I'm gonna go into that inner lid. I don't like putting shimmer on my inner corner. It gets gunky on me, so I don't wanna be gunky, so I don't. If you like it, do it. I'm gonna take the small end, wherever it is, and I'm gonna go to my contour. Going into the contour, I'm gonna grab some onto the brush and I'm gonna pop it down here. And I'm just going to smoke this out and bring it up. Grabbing that contour. I thought I was going into a different color. Okay. Pretty, huh? Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay, there we go. Stila Stay All Day eyeliner. It's dual-ended. You got a big end and you got a little end, and I only use a little end. I'm gonna grab a little brush and I am going to go to the mid of my lid lash line and pull straight out. And then I'm gonna go to my lower lash line and I'm gonna meet it for a hot date as a wing. And then we're gonna fill it in. Don't try to make a big fat wing and then clean it up. I say draw the outline first. Look at how pretty that is. Now, definition is everything, right? So we're just gonna take a little bit on this edge and we're just gonna create definition. Tiniest thing helps so much. Okay, I think that's it. Oh, am I forgetting something? I could be, but that's it. That's the Bubbles and Brush collection. Okay, I know you're way past the subject of Jolene, but I'd like to see it as a lipstick. Girl, I'm not putting that on today. What time is it? I've got a little bit of time. The things I do for a live. All right, let's go, Desiree. We're gonna slap some of this on. I'm gonna use a multitasker brush. All right, if you could see this brush drawer, you would be appalled. Where are you? Son of a... Where is it? Guys, it caught me off guard. Do I have one? Ah, bam. There we go. Multitasker brush. Now it's kind of wiped off. Boy. No, we're going to do it. I'm already here. Let's see. Crap, I like it. It doesn't. Wow. Well, Desiree, look at that. Well, would you look at that? You know, that sound bit. Does anybody ever talk and then think a reel in their head? I just did. You know? It is a bit dry because it is a satin. You know? What do you think? What's the husband think? while he's driving. I know I know I'm like like he's like, what's happening over there? I want to try something now that I'm here. Now that we're here, I want to grab Dahlia and align with it. Let's see. Let's do that. Dahlia. Really can't see it. Oh my God, my lips look electric. All right. No. But, wow. That's a bright one. He says he can't see. He's driving. Sounds like my husband. Like when I'm trying to show him something funny while he's driving. Okay. The things you guys get me into. I'm not wearing this to the courthouse. But now you've seen it. It's like a stain. Oh. Okay. That's the sound my grandma makes. Oh. All right. Homecoming. Over top. Hey. Yeah, all right. Okay. That's it. I'm going to go and do my duty as, let's put some mascara on, as a citizen of the United States. I'm going to go do jury duty. You know, they're selecting for some big cases, what it said on the voicemail thingy. It better be interesting. I'm kidding. That's a terrible thing to say. Anyway. All right. I don't know. I got sucked into the whole Johnny Depp thing. So maybe it'll be as entertaining as that. All right. That's it. That's the eye look. I feel like this side needs to get jazzed up more, right? Because I always end up hanging out here way too long. How long am I? I made it over 30. All right, we're going to pump that up. We're going to clean it off. Grab a little more Havana. We're going to pump that up. There we go. Thank you. Have a great day while doing your civic duty. Hey, my dad's military. He was Coast Guard. He's a puddle pirate, I guess is what they like to call him. I get military. I know my corners, and I know that there's no breaks. You know, tell me if this is a thing. When I'm a really good mover because we moved all the time, but we don't do breaks. I get frustrated when people are like, are we going to stop and have a break? I'm like, what's that? Like, we've got things to do, like move the boxes, get them unpacked. I have my house unpacked in 24 hours. I'll stay up all night. But thank you for your service. Yes. Sorry. Yes. But yes, I totally get all of that. But yeah, does he do breaks? Because I don't ever do breaks. It's always like boom, 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 boom. Thank you for your service, Mr. Barris. But that's it. That's probably why I get so mad that it's taken my husband 3 years to get a chicken house done. Because I don't understand breaks. But all right, that's it. I'm going to go and be a juror, possibly. Have a great day.